Greetings, various people across grand and mighty spectrums of time and indeed the multiverse. So what is a journalist? I could never be a journalist in this day and age. I could never be a paid journalist, because a journalist nowadays just means someone who gets copy of what's happening out as quickly as possible, right? We are already at the point where technology is able to compete with journalists, because basically the value of the human intellect and human creativity towards journalism is becoming less and less needed. People don't care about the human perspective. They care about unbiased and quick. And a machine will do that. A machine will do that. A machine will be able to give you what's happening, collate what's happening, and say, this is happening, and this is happening, this is happening, and this is happening, and so from this we can assume this, 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 and that. Right? I can't do that kind of thing. I can't work fast. I can't do that. But at the same time, what I am fast realizing is that even before Doctor Who, before writing for fiction, before YouTube, before anything, I wanted to be a researcher. I wanted to be a journalist, in the sense that I wanted to look at the world, look at issues going on within it, and give my perspective. And I've technically been doing that for money, supported by advertisements, over the last couple of years. Right? And it's taken me so long to realise this, because there has been so much bullshit in the way, because I haven't known what I wanted to do, because I haven't considered what I wanted to do, because I haven't I'm gonna do a jump cut here and try and better explain what the fuck I'm on about. So, I've been thinking about why I live. And some of it's small things. It's, it's podcasts and let's plays and the fact that women are just fucking awesome. But it's also that I like writing. That just literally the act of writing is itself amazing, and when I finish something that's important to me, it's better than fucking sex. I mean, okay, I don't exactly have the broadest range of experience to choose from, but the point is, it's fucking awesome. And at the same time, I need a purpose. I need a demon to fight against. And the problem I've had the last 2 years is I've been unemployed. There have been demons after my arse, but they have not been interesting demons. And I have faced issues. Because in the world today, we do face a problem of public faith in society, in authority, public faith in public will. You know, in parts of America, it's close to civil war, and you know, I've got all of these thoughts in my head about all these problems that you know the world is facing, and I just know, I'm just damn certain that like ain't nobody gonna do shit about it until the bullshit's on their doorstep. You know? Nobody is gonna give the slightest crap about the really big problems coming to fuck us all over until they're right there before us, because it's like, so who gives a fuck about bloody technological unemployment and fucking climate change when you're scared that you're gonna lose your jobs, that you're worried about how you're gonna feed your kids, and you're worried because either, you know, that bloody foreigner who might be a terrorist is over there, or that bloody white git who's probably a terrorist is over there. You know, like, there is so much hatred in the world today, so much anger, so much scorn and vitriol and left smashing against right, and it's not helping anything. And I'm not saying that the centrists have it right because they fucked this shit up. I'm saying that we have forgotten how to debate. I'm saying that we have forgotten how to fucking be reasonable. No, I'm British. We have politeness and acerbiqueness and wit. You know, a British person can cut you to ribbons with a string of compliments. And yet we're on the verge of civil war in some places because we can't have a disagreement. And yes, I fully acknowledge that the disagreements, that the stakes are high, but ladies and gentlemen, when have the stakes never been fucking high? When have things never been difficult? When have they never been dangerous? When has it never been life and death? You think that there was never poverty before? That there was never oppression before? The fucking suffragettes fought and died so that people could vote. You know, Scottish had fucking Churchill bringing tanks to bear on them because they decided to strike. History is filled with people taking a stand for what they believe in and facing stark, severe consequences because things were high stakes. Things have always been high stakes. They have always been high stakes. And the thing is that we think we're unique. We all do. All of us are arrogant and greedy and stupid in our own ways. And yeah, I fully understand that the fucking morality is with the oppressed and the underdogs. It's with the trans people and the feminists, right? Because the cis white men hold all the fucking cards. But that doesn't mean that the fears of the white working class are built on complete horseshit, right? They have legitimate fears, it's just that they don't know who's causing their fears, because frankly, the people who should be speaking to them and reasoning with them are just calling them bigots and monsters, because how dare you think that? And so the only people who are listening to them, the only people who are pretending to give a shit about them, are the Nazis and the bastards and the bigots and the shitheads. Right? We are failing the white working class because we aren't listening to them, because we aren't debating them, because we aren't showing them another way, because we don't want to, because they're so bastards. Why should we? Why should we? Because if you don't, you're gonna make it worse. And you are making it worse. Discretion is the better part of valor. Diplomacy is the better part of war. It does not matter if these people have done wrong to you, if these people stand against everything you believe in and your very way of being. It is always better to find a peaceful solution that works for everyone. Always. That does not mean, however, that the other side cannot be conniving, manipulative little shits who need to be told, hey, you cockwits, just because we're playing fair and civilly does not mean that you get to be cockwits. And this is the difficulty. You end up in a cycle of escalation because, well, the other side is doing this, well, the other side is doing that, and if you try to tear back the needle and say, hey, we're gonna do this civilly, we're gonna talk this shit out, we're not gonna be dickheads about it, then people see weakness. It's difficult. It's complicated. It is not going to get solved overnight. It is not going to get solved by a twat on the internet speaking his fucking mouth off. I know this. But at the same time, why do I exist if I don't fucking do something with what little talent I have? You know? Because the last few days, I've been happy. Happier than I think I have ever been. And I'm not actually sure why. But I think the reason I've been so happy is that I am actually starting to believe that maybe this guillotine I have been living under the last 2 years has finally been lifted away from my head. I think I am finally starting to believe at a quite deep level of my being that maybe I might actually get through this. And so the question becomes, if I'm not gonna die, if I'm not doomed to be fucked over by the Conservative government and left homeless on the streets until I kill myself, what's the fucking point of my existence? What is the good of me being here? Because I'm not a Christian or a Jewish man or a Muslim, right? I'm not a Buddhist or a Hindu or anything like this. I'm an atheist, and I believe that when I die, and I cease to be, and it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't. All this argument about, well, when you die, people will miss you. It doesn't matter. I'll be dead. I won't have any regrets because I won't have a consciousness to have regrets. I will be gone. the world will continue afterwards. So as long as I exist, I need a work, you know? I need a thing to which I put my efforts into that makes the world a better place, right? And it either does so through literally having a job, through, you know, actually having a beneficial impact on the economy, and, you know, ensuring that the great capitalist machine keeps ticking over. But hey, the great capitalist machine isn't ticking over, and it's gonna fail anyway. But I have to do that, which I can't, because who the fuck would hire me? Or I do what I can with the skills that I have available to make the world a better place. And the things I have available are my writing and whatever the fuck this is. But if I'm going to do this, I need to draw up some rules. Rule number 1. Your comments do not matter to me. Your emails do not matter to me. If you message me, I will give no fucks. Right? It will be filed under Nazi trash, and then you will be blocked, never to contact me again. It won't be read, it won't be thought about, it won't be considered, it will just be an automatic thing of filed for future reference and blocked from ever mentioning me again. And secondly, whatever the cult of personality thing that is going on here, that is the reason people watch my stuff, I can't play into it. I can't. It doesn't matter how nicely, it doesn't matter how sweetly, it doesn't matter how... I can't do that. What this has to be is not shouting into the void, but just broadcasting. Not never reading the comments. I'm not sure whether I will delete the comments. I mean, I think I will continue my sort of campaign of just, as I feel like it, occasionally just blocking people, you know. It's good to keep people jumpy, you know. They just know that, hey, if your comment gets seen and it happens to not be liked, then you could just never be able to comment there ever again. Just keep people a little company. But other than that, I have to keep distant. I have to just put shit out there and let it be. And second rule is that I need to stop kidding myself and kidding other people that I'm going to turn this into some sort of grand commercialized thing of the hang the right? The Patreon is just a thing if people want to donate to the Patreon. It's kind of like how the Amazon wish list was basically added just to stop people sending shit to my house, right? Like, yeah, I totally want the fucking tofu. I totally goddamn need bog roll sent to me by fucking strangers over the internet. No, like that's just there so that the fuckwits who might consider spending some money have too many fucking choices, so that they'll look on the wish list and go, I might spend some money so I can tell him he's a poo-poo pants, and then after scrolling through 3 pages of bollocks, they presumably will have gotten bored, or even if they don't, there'll be something on there and it's expected and harmless. I'm not going to be doing any. Yeah. I mean, the audiobook channel might genuinely become a thing at some point, but at the same time, maybe I might get a submissive girlfriend. It's not impossible. It's a thing I'd like to do. Will I ever get around to it? Will it ever actually happen, though? That's another question. The Alex events and the news channels, I think they're good kind of for just sort of warehousing things, right? For keeping stuff a little compartmentalized and stuff like that. But yeah. Otherwise, I think things ain't gonna happen, I might do sort of some sort of live stream at some point, just because of the changing face of the medium and what have you. But yeah, either the comments will be disabled, or I just won't be reading them and they just won't matter, because it's just like, no. It's not screaming into the void, but neither is it commercializing and selling out and all this stuff. Yeah. I can only put out my own perspective. And like, whilst there are certain places that I wouldn't, like, if Dissecting Worlds or School of Movies or whatever were to invite me on, I would probably say yes, because I love their podcasts, right? I don't actually watch many YouTubers in the sort of in I don't watch anybody on YouTube who I think that kind of I could possibly cameo with in that sort of, so it's not, so unless like a very select group of people that I already pretty much think are awesome, but that I feel I could remain that I could avoid fucking things up, basically. Other than a very select sort of range of people, I ain't gonna be sort of appearing on anything, right? Collaborations, not that they were happening before, But yeah, just no, they're not gonna ever happen. As I say, unless, like, these people who I happen to, sort of almost semi-religiously listen to or follow, unless they specifically, personally come to me, I'm not sure that I'm ever likely to do any kind of collaboration or appear in any kind of thing. And yeah, it's the nature of the beast that there will be people who will be talking about me and saying X, Y, Z or whatever. And the thing is that, guys, like, I've spent the last 2 years with this guillotine of economic unviability hanging over my head. You know, I have had I've had a segment of the trans community turn against me and rail against me. I've had Nazi stalkers hating me. I've had feminists hating me. I've had Doctor Who fans hating me. I've been hated by a lot of different people, and I have hated myself worst of all, and I don't give a shit anymore. Life's too fucking short to care that these people say horrible things about you. So what? Oh, you wank off to me and think about flaying me alive whilst you sing the Star-Spangled Banner. Right, good, whatever. Don't care. Yeah. I just don't care, fundamentally. And, I've said that before in kind of a sort of bravado-ish, no trust, sort of way. But, like, I am so close to the edge of my existence that I literally don't have the fucks to give. It's like, so what? Someone was mean on the internet. So fucking what? And also, in a way, like, because so many people have been fucking angry with me, it's like my reputation's already shit. I don't care. But if I'm here, and I'm gonna be here, and I am here, then I'm gonna do something with the time that I have available. And I'm gonna talk about stuff that matters to me. And I'm going to talk about problems that I think society should be giving a shit about. And I know that everybody is kind of going, oh my god, Trump, oh my god, Kermit, oh my god, he's admitted he's shared personal information to Russia, and it's like, I don't care. This whole election campaign with Theresa May and Jeremy Corbyn, it's like, let's be frank here, right? This general election campaign in Britain, this is Theresa May's to lose, right? This is like, genuinely, the Labour Party cannot actually lose this, in the sense that this is a general election that pretty much everybody thought, oh well, the Conservatives have called this because they know they're going to win. Which means that if the Conservatives don't have a landslide victory, they've lost. And if they do have a landslide victory, well, we all expected it anyway, didn't we? I mean, yes, you know, the fact that Theresa May is now seemingly trying to lose it, with the fact that she's even brought back fox hunting. She's even pledging to bring back fox hunting, right? Like, you know, at this point, it wouldn't be a surprise if she literally said, yes, and then we're now going to start actually hunting the poor people. Yes, disabled people on wheelchairs will be rounded up, and then we will just hunt them in packs, you know, on horseback, whilst they run for their lives, or wheel for their lives, you know. All the white working class being chased down as all these, you know, toffs on horseback are like, hey, how you doing? Yeah, it's bloody good show, isn't it? Bloody good show. So yeah, it'll be a terrible future if the Tories do get in again, but they're gonna get in again. So either we get glorious socialism, or we're as fucked as we thought we were going to be anyway. So it's not going to be a surprise, you know. It's just, oh well, guess we're dead now. Similarly, like Brexit at this point, Brexit could literally be the terms of the arrangement could literally be, and you must all get fucked up the arse with a red hot poker every night. And it's just like, well, at least it's over. At least we know what's going on now. Like, the fact that we've been in Brexit limbo for so long and we don't know one way or the other, what's it going to be? Are we going to be in? Are we going to be out? How's it going to be? What's the deal going to be? What the fuck is going to go on? We don't know anything. And as long as we don't know anything, there's nothing to discuss. There's nothing to talk about. And yet, all the news services do is talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk, right? I don't care. So what? You know, I would say that, yeah, you support Donald Trump being impeached, and you support, you vote Labour or Lib Dem or just basically anyone but the fucking Tories. But other than that, like, party politics, it's not, you know, it's something that it's very easy to get angry about, but, like, it isn't the stuff I feel I need to talk about, because everybody's talking about party politics. Everybody's talking about Trump. Everybody is talking about Theresa May or Jeremy Corbyn, or, you know, what is the future of the Labour Party? What is the future of the Conservative Party? What's going to happen to Britain? What's going to happen with Brexit? What's going to happen with the Scottish independence? You know, like, everybody's talking about this stuff, so I don't need to be. And I know people will suggest, well, shouldn't you be talking about it because everybody's talking about it? No, I shouldn't. Because if everybody's talking about it, I don't need to. And I feel like if you don't have a bead on how relevant my opinion is to you or not at this point, then what the fuck are you doing watching my fucking videos? I mean, I have been listening to School of Movies, and School of Movies recommended a comic called Transmetropolitan, and I have been reading it, and oh my god, it is fucking glorious, right? Transmetropolitan is a comic that is sort of cyberpunk and post-scarcity with sort of journalist, a British sort of a British style, journalist as the hero of this sort of political horror story, and his assistant is a gorgeous, badass ginger stripper slash bodyguard assistant, and it's just like this is almost categorically aligned with the deepest facets of my being, right? It really is. And so I feel I've been reading through issue after issue after issue, and it's just, I love it. I absolutely fucking love it. And I am amazed it took listening to a podcast to find something that is so keenly attuned to exactly what I like. Right? But this has got it. Because I like the bite of politics. I like the grimness of sort of political realism, of journalistic realism. I like the idea of sort of the journalist exposing the horrors of the world and sort of, shining the light, shining a light onto the darker corners of the world and just saying, look, this is what's going on. All I can do is show you the way. If you can't make things better, that's on you. All I can do is try and shine a light. And the world is just gorgeous in its complexity and in the way, in its aesthetic, and the way that it blends post-scarcity with cyberpunkism, and God, I just love gingers. It's fantastic. So yeah, and I mention this because kind of, I suppose, if you need to know what I'm like, that's what I like. That's me. That's what I like. Like if it included, oh, it technically does include Vor, because there are sort of jokey references to the fact that because they live in the age of sort of like essentially 3D printing and sort of like matter replication, that they do have essentially cloned human meat as food that you can buy. So there is sort of technically Vor in the background. But yeah, kind of all it needs is sort of like talking sharks and shrinking women kept as pets, and it would have like all of the bases covered. It's just truly like it. I genuinely cannot think of anything in the entire history of things that I have experienced in my life that is more acutely designed in such a way that it hits everything I love in my fiction. I suppose the only downside is it's a comic, but I suppose the upside of that is that it means that it's a comic which has the words of a novel, but you actually get to see what the fuck is happening, like in a film. It's fantastic. So yeah, I've been Alexander Gordon Johans, and I shall continue to be Alexander Gordon Johans, and yeah. Fuck me, I'm still alive, and I think I'm probably going to still be alive for quite some time to come. And I'm happy. I really am. Honestly happy. Actually, I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that I finally figured out that if I just take my pain meds and my caffeine meds early on in my sort of relative day, that things are better. And yeah, I have relative days because basically my sleeping pattern is a complete and utter mess. So very rarely does my relative day actually line up with a normal human day. Anyway, I'm gonna go read more Transmetropolitan now. Goodbye. Thank you for watching my main channel. Please remember to leave a like, favourite and comment. Shout out to the Dislike Club. Subscribe if you like what you saw, and share if you know someone who might be interested in the contents of this video. If you would like to help ensure more videos get made, there are a few options available to you. You can whitelist this channel in your adblock software to ensure what ad revenue you provide has a chance of making its way to me. If you sign up to make a regular monthly donation through my Patreon, then you will get to watch a selection of videos available exclusively to my Patreon supporters over at my Patreon page. One-off donations are payable through PayPal, or if that doesn't suit your sensibilities, you can gift items through Steam or Amazon via my public wish lists. Obviously, I don't expect anything, and the vast majority of my videos will remain free and ad-supported. All that remains is to say Trump should be impeached, the genocidal must be stopped, and institute universal basic income now.